the virtues
Đây.
of the Buddha, right?
Of the Sangha, Ajahn.
Of the Sangha. Okay.
Yes.
สวากขาโตภควตาธัมโมสันทิฏฐิโกกังปัจจตังวิทิตุสุปฏิ
Supatipano
ปัน
Bhagavata
สุปฏิปันสุปฏิปัน
Patipano
โน I don't know the Pali term
Bhagavato Sakasakhanko.
สุปฏิปันโนสาวกสังโฆสาวก everyone know
Right.
so that สาวกสังโฆสุปฏิปันโนถึงพร้อม just accomplished with following the teachings means doing, speaking, following the words of the Buddha, right? Supati Panno Savaka Sangho, all Savaka, just follow the teachings, behave according to the teachings, develop right understanding according to the teachings of the truth. Only the teachings of the Buddha about the truth to be accomplished, to be Savaka Sangho. And Uchu Patipanno. What's the meaning of Uchu?
Something like straight.
Yeah, I believe Jonathan knows about this. In Pali term, the
Not
meaning of
that
the Pali
familiar, but
term.
Uju I know as being straight or upright or, yeah. What is the Pali term we are looking at here?
Uchu Patipanno.
Uju Patipanno.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that means well proclaimed?
Patipanno.
No. Uju was straight up, up, as you said before, upright. Swakato was different. That relates to Dhamma, but we're talking about the Sangha.
Yes.
Behave straight to the truth. Is it that? Being straight to the truth. Not turn left, not right, or other way. Right now.
Straight to the understanding of the truth. Pachaparami. No deviation from the truth.
Straight to understand the truth. What is there now? That which can be known is there right now, appearing as it is. Seeing sees, no I, not anyone at all. Supatipanno, Savaka Sangho, Uchupatipanno, and what?
Naya Patipano Ajahn.
Supatipanno, Savaka Sangho, and then?
Naya Patipano
Yeah.
Sawakasanko.
According to the truth. Is that the meaning of the Pali? Kun Suntro, Kun Jonathan? Supatipanno.
Well, I'm sorry, it's sometime since I've looked at this, so I can't immediately call it to mind.
Yeah, it goes Tanajanka Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho then Nyaya Patipanno
Patipanno.
yeah, then Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho. And it's interesting to note that the word Sāvaka literally means it's often translated as follower, but the true meaning or the real meaning of it is a Sāvaka is someone who listens, a listener to the Dhamma. As we know, it's sometimes translated as follower, but Sāvaka means one who, the listeners who are possessed of hearing. We're familiar with that word Sāvanakitcha, which means it's one of the functions of chitta, the functions of hearing. So a Sāvaka is a hearer of the Dhamma, and they're well accomplished in that.
So I'm just looking at the Visuddhimagga translation on this topic, and it gives for those three terms that Sundara has just quoted. Ujjapatipanno, entered on the straight way. The second one, entered on the true way. And the third one, entered on the proper way. So that's the description of the follower who is a member of the Sangha, who is the Sangha being referred to. Ujjapatipanno, straight way. Is it Nyaya? And what's the third one?
Samichi.
Patipanno.
As you said, the proper way.
The proper way, yeah.
Nyaya Patipanno is referring to walking on the right way. So following the right way, walking on the right way.
And it's relevant, I think, too here that when it goes on to say Yaditam Chattari Purisyugani Attapurisa Puggala, etc., it's talking about moments. It's one of those aspects of that we find in the sutta that is pure Abhidhamma in many ways, because it says Yaditam Chattari, which literally means namely these four Purisa Puggala, these four types of individuals at Sotapanna and Sakadagami, Anagami, Anarahata.
Yes, I think it's 4 pairs. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Path and fruition. Yeah.
Yeah. Initially, yes, right. Initially, it says Yaditam Chattari Purisa Yogani, which is the 4 pairs, but then it goes on to say Arka Purisa Puggala, those 8 types of individuals, which are the different mind moments of Magga and Pala, of Sotapatti, and so on, up to Arahata Pala. So ultimately, the Sangha being referred to here are the moments of Magga and Pala. They're the ones who are truly worthy.
Can it be listening to the word of the truth carefully, straightly to the truth, understand it now, what is there, straight to that object right now, listen about it, and consider it, and behave or develop right understanding to understand the truth? Is that the meaning of the Savaka? Listening to the truth, consider it carefully, understand it, and just walk straight or to the truth, to understand the truth.
Well,
Yes.
Ajahn, they are recollections, aren't they, of the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So it is a reflection on the quality of the individual who has attained the path.
Or the behavior, the deeds and speech and whatever in life, just follow the teaching because of understanding the very precious reality. Right understanding is best of all. Understanding correctly, behave correctly to eradicate defilement or ignorance about what is there now. The core of the teachings, no matter what about by words, supatipanno. Su is wholesome. Supatipanno. Sawaka Sangho. Wholesome moments in life through deeds and speech and mind. From hearing, considering three stages, three rounds of Arya Satya. It includes the meaning of the three rounds of Arya Satya. Otherwise, how can there be the enlightenment to the truth of what is there now as it is? No matter word is used, listening to the truth, supatipanno, and understand that it is not just to be translated or it's not just to be understood, but to follow the path leading to eradicate unwholesome realities until even the wholesome realities, which are the cause of whatever arises, completely eradicated, never to arise again. So, patipanno, not just to listen or just to remember, but to behave according to what is taught about the truth. So, patipanno, the words not just to be understood, but to follow, to develop right understanding too. That is the path leading to understanding the truth is supatipanno. Otherwise, we would go wrong or the other way, no understanding of what is taught, not just to understand, but to behave or to follow, developing right understanding according to what is understood as it is now, little by little. Supatipanno is that right, pure behavior. That's why the word is not just to be listened, to be understood, but to understand the value, the purchase of reality, which understand the truth. Otherwise, how can there be supatipanno, any wholesome deeds? Uchupatipanno, straight to the truth. Dhamma, the first round, is to understand the truth. The second round, according to understanding of the truth, it develops in order to understand what is there, little by little. Straight to the truth right now, what is there? A reality. What reality? It experiences the object, and that which is there, the object, cannot experience anything. Straight to the truth, to understand the truth, to follow the truth, to develop the understanding of the truth. Uchu patipanno. Ya patino, ya patipanno. To understand deeper and deeper and deeper down to that which is so deep, to realize now what is there has arisen and fallen away instantly by way of nimitta. Without understanding the truth, just listen to the translation of the word. How can there be the understanding of what is there behave in a day? Kusala sila, akusala sila, and apayagata sila. Each word conform with the other word about the ultimate truth until no doubt about what is the meaning of that, what does it mean, and what is the benefit of understanding that. Just to develop right understanding to understand what is there as we have heard and considered. carefully that it's there right now. Supatipanno, Sawaka Sangho, Uchupatipanno, according to what is there real or true. Yayapatipanno, until it's understood, stage by stage, different levels of pariyati, patipati, and pativeda. So what are the quality, the behavior of Aryan Savaka? The Savaka, again, whether it's clear now or not. Supatipanno Savaka Sangho, is it clear now? What's the meaning? Supatipanno.
Well accomplished, Tanajanka. Well accomplished. But
About,
as you said, Tanajan, it's not the translation. It's not the translation that's at the heart here. It's the understanding and the following in accordance with the Dhamma, not as how individuals may think it is, but how it truly is.
so without understanding, just practicing or concentrating on an object, is that Supatipanno?
Not Tanajan.
And what else after Supatipanno?
Ujupatipanno Bhagavato
See, straight,
Savaka.
yeah? What is there now? Straight to the truth of it. Not without any understanding at all. Because to be straight to the truth, not the false or the fake, it needs more and more understanding of what is there. Even it's there sees. So very, very difficult to understand the nature which experiences the object. Because only the object which is experienced shows up, but not as it is. Only by way of nimitta, see. So straight to the truth, it's only the nimitta of seeing, the nimitta of hearing, the nimitta of whatever arises, because just only a single moment cannot be realized at all. But seeing is not hearing. So now don't mind at all how many moments, but it's there to be known, to be studied. That is the reality which just arises to see. No one at all. Just a moment of seeing by that which arises to see and then gone. Straight to the truth, to understand the truth, the ultimate truth. Not go wrong to the right or to the left, but the middle truth. Can it be the meaning of it? And only the right understanding of the truth can be developed again and again, little by little, straight to the truth that what is there now arise and falls away instantly. It doesn't matter because what is the experience in life is only through six doorways. Even what is there not appear, gone. And even what is there arising, it does not be the nimitta appearing right now. It's not the nimitta of cetana, it's not the nimitta of feeling or the nimitta of sanya, while it's the chief of experience, the object. But when sanya appear to be known by way of the nimitta of sanya, see, because now it seems like there are so many things around, until just one that impinge on the eye can be seen and gone instantly, straight to the truth. So does anyone would like to be Sawaka Sangho? Just want to be, or understanding the quality of each moment to develop to be Sawaka Sangho? Is this the first round of Ariya Satya? That which is now appearing arises and falls away, non-stop by conditions, on and on and on and on, from moment to moment, from life to life, without understanding of the truth, the reality, the nature, the quality of that which is there, different from others. There must be the idea of someone or something. At moment of hearing the teachings about the truth of what is there, is that supatipanno, not just hearing, but considering the nature of that, which cannot be the object of studying without conditions to be that very moment, any moment, by conditions. Are we now supatipanno savakasanko, or little by little to be supatipanno savakasanko, uchupatipanno savakasanko, yajapatipanno savakasanko, samijipatanno savakasanko.
Yes, they're really all just referring to the development of the path. When there is the development of the path, there is Supatipanno, Bhagavato, Sawaka Sangho, and so on. But if there's, like you say, any just reciting and wishing to be the Savaka and so on, then it's completely useless. So it's just you're pointing to the truth and the development of understanding right now. And then it follows naturally. Like we were talking this morning about different kinds of chanda interest. If it's just chanda that is wishing to be sawako, wishing to have such qualities, chanda is there, but it's chanda with lobha, quite different from the chanda that develops with right understanding of the truth now. So whatever we read about, whatever terms are used, whatever virtues are mentioned, it all comes back, it all points to the understanding of the truth right now. Without that understanding, whatever we read will be misunderstood. Otherwise, we just get caught with the translations and the terms and the words and forget about this moment again and again. How can there be any appreciation of what it means to be straight to the truth if there's no understanding now of the world at this moment, of seeing now, hearing now, pleasant feeling now? In whatever words, whatever language we're used to using.
So, is it now supatipanno? See?
It's supatipanno, when there is the careful considering and listening and appreciation of the truth now. It is supatipanno, gradually developing. And it is ujupatipanno, when there's no deviating from the appreciation of what is true, what is correct, no thought of other ways or what I should do or shouldn't do. And it is Nayapatipanno, when it is following the path, following the way with understanding, with sincerity, and so on. So it's all about this very moment. It's not terms in the book, but it's about the truth now. Great blessings. And Tam, did you have any particular reason for bringing up this topic? Are these terms discussed or used a lot in Vietnam too?
No, I just think that last week we already discussed about the virtues of the Dhamma, and because we never talk about this topic, so I'd like to hear about them. And now as we talk about it, I think that it's just beginning to get some idea, but it's very deep. It's not easy to really connect it with this moment at all. And do they refer to the qualities of the enlightened beings?
Yeah,
Well, they refer to, their epithets for the enlightened being, in a sense. So the enlightened being, for example, is fit to receive gifts and worthy of reverence and salutation. So this doesn't necessarily describe the being, but it describes the what shall I say, how they are to be considered. Oh, yes. Because when it's similar to the Buddha, when one thinks of the Buddha, one thinks of his compassion, his omniscience, and so forth. So with those who've attained enlightenment, one can think of them in similar terms, but slightly differently. They have attained enlightenment, so they have traveled the straight path. They are highly developed kusala, and they are worthy to receive one's offering and reverence.
And Tumba, sorry, I was just looking at it. There must be a commentarial note here that Samichiti, which is thus, Samichi is Anudhammata. So it's in accordance with the nature of Dhamma. They have followed the path in accordance with the nature of Dhamma, Dhammata. And as Tanajan knows, the Thai word is Tammada. It's slightly different, but it's the same word as Dhammata. So it's translated, Samichi is translated often as proper. But proper here meaning in accordance with the nature of Dhamma as it is. And as I sort of just said before, after Samichi, it goes on to say, where are we? Samichiti, Bhagavato, Savaka Sanko, then Yaditam Chattari Purusyugani. So Yaditam is namely Chattari Purusyugani. There are 4 pairs of individuals. Yaditam Chattari Purusyugani. Ata Purusapugala, the 8 types of individuals. That's Magra and Pala of the 4 Aryans, Asa Bhagavato Savaka Sanko. These are Asa Bhagavato Savaka Sanko. These are the Aryan Sangha. And then, as Jonathan was mentioned, it goes on to mention Ahuniyo, Pahuniyo, Dakiniyo, Anjalikaraниyo, Anuttaram Punyakitam Lokasati. So it talks about their being worthy of offerings, worthy of hospitality, worthy of gifts, worthy of reverential salutation. And these are incomparable fields of merit in the world, the last one being Anuttaram Punyakitam Lokasati, the most, the highest forms of merit in the world, those 8 types of individuals, those moments, if of course they have been experienced by those particular sawakas. So that salutation to the Sangha is really a tribute to those who have accomplished and who are worthy in those ways that I just talked about, being worthy of gifts, worthy of offerings, worthy of hospitality, worthy of reverential salutation. That's the Anjali Karanyo, the worthy of salutation. And
Yes, well, we've heard before in our discussions on Kusala how the degree of Kusala depends on the, say, when in giving, depends on the merit of the recipient also. And this is making the point that those who have become enlightened are the most worthy of receiving gifts. So they are the highest level of recipient to which a gift can be given, or to which respect can be paid. But I know these terms we're talking about are often included in chantings and also seen as things to be memorized and recited or reflected on, but I don't think that's how they are intended to be seen, because the reflection can only be as useful as one's understanding of what is being considered. And so I don't think we should regard them as things to be learned. But I think, as I commented when we were talking about reflecting on the merits of the Buddha, that they are thoughts that may arise from time to time as one's understanding develops. And at such moments, if it occurs naturally, then it's reflection on the Buddha, Dhamma, or Sangha, as the case may be. It doesn't matter. We don't have to categorize every reflection in terms of whether it falls under one aspect or another. But the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha are obviously things very worthy of reflection if it happens in a Kusala way.
as for your question, Tam, about whether it just refers to the Aryans, well, I think as Ajahn said, that all 3 rounds of the Noble Truth are included. So now, even when it's pariyati understanding, wise consideration, wise reflection on the truth, on the dhammas, then it is the beginning. And as she said, little by little, the understanding develops. There is the hearing, the considering, and the right behavior according to the understanding of the truth developing. So I don't think we should think that Supatipano and Ujupatipano, being direct to the truth, only refers to Aryan disciples, because the more understanding, the more there is such a jnana, firm confidence in the truth, the more the understanding is straight, following the right way, not deviating, not influenced by being influenced by those who think one should follow a practice or do this or that. So it is a gradual development, and that's why it's relevant to now, and the understanding, the listening, the considering at this moment.
Thanks, Sarah. What about the other 5, like Ahunayo, Bahunayo, Dakinayo, Anjali, Karaniyo, and Anuttarang Punya Ketang Lukasa? Are these only, they refer to the qualities of the enlightened being?
I'd like to listen to Ajahn talking about them.
Just before Ajahn speaks, to say that the enlightened being is fit for gifts doesn't refer to a specific quality of the enlightened being. It's the fact they're enlightened that makes them fit for gifts. The enlightened being is fit for hospitality, fit for offerings, receiving offerings, fit for paying respect to. But as they don't refer, they all refer to the fact of the being enlightened, in an incomparable field of merit for the world, the last one. So they're the highest kind of merit. Merit performed in respect of them is the highest kind of kusala. That's how I understand it. Does that answer your question, Dhamma?
Yes. And on the last one, especially, we usually hear people say that the bhikkhus are the punyaketang lokasa, the field of merits for beings. But here it refers to the enlightened being fit, being the field of merits for being. So I don't know if it's correct to say the bhikkhus are the field of merit.
Not in terms of these recollections when they are found, for example, in the reflections leading to highest levels of samatha development.
Just further to your question there, Tamba, it's not referring to the Samuti Sangha or the conventional Sangha. The Punyaketam Lokasati is referring to the Aryan Sangha. It does not refer to the Samuti Sangha or the conventional Sangha, as it's sometimes called.
Thanks, Dra. We look forward to hearing your comments, Ajahn.
Yes. To whom do you pay respect?
to the panya, the kusala, not a being.
How come to have panya? What you just has recited. Supatipanno, Swakato, Pakawatamu. Pay respect to that person who study carefully, straightly, to the truth. Is that right? Not divided to other side, left or right, but straight to the truth. Pay respect to that person, right? Not just pay respect to the good one, that's all. That's why Buddha taught about Dhamma, the quality which develop to realize the truth. The property of the one who has realized the truth has to be from the very beginning. Supatipanno, Savaka Sangho, Uchupatipanno, Savaka Sangho. Is that right? Yaya Patipanno, Savaka Sangho, Sami Chit Supatipanno, Savaka Sangho. Is that right? Only those who have such quality. They do not have money or just fame and all, but the property of being, the enlightenment, must have such quality. We pay respect to that. From the very beginning until the end, enlightened to the truth, stage by stage, until no more akusla at all, even the level of aswa and anusia. Pay respect to that. And what is the way to be such Arya Sangha? Is only by the quality or the property of not wealth or fame, but Supatipanno, understanding the three rounds of Arya Satya. So they are the quality or the property of those who develop right understanding to have accomplishment of what they have developed to that degree. When it's not that degree yet, it's not the eighth Arya Savaka, four pairs, Sotapannas, Sakatagami, Anagami, Arahata. Without these quality that they have developed, no way to or to have such property of Arya Savaka.
And this is why it is this is the Sangha that is all those terms, ahuneo, worthy of offerings and worthy of gifts and so on, worthy of respect. Those that have developed right understanding, follow the path straight and so on. Nothing to do with the outer appearance or the image or anyone's idea, but it all refers to the development of the path, stage by stage, until the defilements are eradicated. This is what is really worthy of respect and offerings. So when one does pay respect at temples or to bhikkhus, it is for the Sangha. One is actually paying respect, not to individual bhikkhus or individual people.
I think it's a good reminder too, Tambak, that ultimately what is being paid respect to are different mental moments of, the highest wisdom that's what's worthy of salutation and respect, offerings and gifts, etc. And they are incomparable fields of merit, as it said. So it's a reminder of moments that ultimately are worthy of respect, and because ultimately life is composed of moments, and whether or not they're the highest ones, well, that's another matter. And so, as Tana Jan alludes to often, we have to consider carefully those different moments to enable us to reach that point of, the paramatta dhammas, the highest moments. But that's a long journey, as we can appreciate.
So without understanding, there cannot be the recollection of the virtues of the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's why without understanding, even one's calls oneself a Buddhist and has been brought up in a Buddhist country, and one goes to the pagoda and recites beautifully, it's no understanding at all of what is being reflected on or said, because no understanding has been developed. And the most important point is we're talking about qualities, virtues, not anyone attaining anything, not anyone becoming a sotapanna, not anyone being a member of the Sangha, because we're just talking about dhammas, which are anatta. No one there, no one who is paid respect to, just different qualities. Without an understanding of dhammas as anatta, nothing will be understood when reciting these terms, these words.
That's why this reciting, and in fact any reciting, cannot be kusala, because it's a ritual and it's not spontaneous reflection on the true meaning of what's being recited.
Indeed. And even we hear the explanations about the terms, and like Achan stress on that is it about this very moment, the understanding of the truth at this moment. But still, I think when we talk about those words, it's very little understanding. So let alone reciting, just clinging to the melody or some ideas like that.
Yes, even when we discuss it one by one, we can comprehend at a certain level, with some kusala perhaps, the meaning of the term. But then when it's being recited, there's no time for that reflection at all. It's just peeling off the list of terms, and there's no time to really think about the true meaning. So there's really no use in that.
I don't know, Jonathan, about being no conditions for kusala. I think it potentially can be. Perhaps that's what you mean. So when it says yadidam tamba, it says namely, it's explicitly referring to, yadidam means namely, these four pairs of individuals, or these 8 types of Aryans, Magra and Pala. So it's ultimately referring to the Aryan Sangha. It's not referring to the Sammuti Sangha. And and the Sammuti Sangha ideally should reflect, by way of their behaviour, what the Aryan Sangha represents, but that's what they are well, ostensibly working towards. We don't know individuals and their minds, but they ideally should be reflecting the Aryan Sangha. But yeah, and that's probably enough said on that.
Dạ, con xin hỏi hội chúng có ai có câu hỏi liên quan đến chủ đề này hay là chủ đề nào khác không ạ? Vừa rồi thì bác Sundra thì cũng chỉ muốn nói lại là cái câu về bốn đôi tám chúng đệ tử Thế Tôn, tức là muốn nói đến khi mà nói đến tăng bảo thì là nói đến các bậc thánh, bốn đạo và bốn quả, và chắc chắn là không nói về cái tăng đoàn theo cái nghĩa tục đế, là một tập hợp của những vị xuất gia, mà ở đây là nói chắc chắn chỉ nói về các bậc giác ngộ mà thôi. Và khi mà các vị ấy nếu mà nói về tăng đoàn thì tăng đoàn theo nghĩa xuất gia thì mỗi cái phẩm hạnh hay là những cái yếu tố nào đó thì để tùy thuộc vào cái hành xử, cái đức hạnh của từng vị một. Còn vừa nãy thì cô sẽ đã có nói đến là khi mà cung kính hay tôn trọng hay là đảnh lễ chắp lai tay đối với toàn bộ tăng đoàn, tức là cái sự quan tâm đến toàn bộ tăng đoàn thì vẫn là những cái phẩm chất như vậy chứ không phải là tới một con người cụ thể. Dạ, con xin mời hội chúng có thể tiếp tục buổi pháp đàm với các câu hỏi của mình không ạ? Con mời cô Hòa.
Vâng, con xin chào Achan, chào ông bà và toàn thể các bạn. Thì con có nghe lại pháp đàm của Việt Nam về cái bài chú giải kinh Lậu Hoặc, thì ở trong đó có nói là có 3 pháp để đối trị phóng dật và 3 pháp để đối trị lười biếng thiếu tinh tấn. 3 pháp đối trị phóng dật là định, kinh an và xả. Thì chúng con sẽ hiểu điều các pháp đối trị ấy như thế nào ạ?
Yeah, she's talking about the commentary of one sutta. Cái kinh đoạn tận Lậu Hoặc ạ, hay là kinh nào ạ?
Vâng ạ, kinh đoạn tận Lậu Hoặc đấy ạ. Mà đọc một lúc đó là bạn tâm đạp trong chú giải đấy ạ.
Vâng. I think the name of the Pali name of the sutta is about the eradication of the asava. And now she's talking about the commentary on that sutta. And in the commentary, it talks about the Dhamma that counter the different kinds of asava. And định samadhi and passaddhi. Định khinh an và gì nữa cô nhỉ?
Xả nữa ạ. Xả.
Định khinh an và xả là đối trị với
với phóng dật ạ.
Với phóng dật. Samadhi, passaddhi and tatramatra. That one is difficult to say. That one, yeah. So these are 3 dhammas that counter the restlessness, uddhacca. So she'd like to understand this point. Thank you.
Well, isn't it true now that at moments of when akusala arises, moments of lobha, moments of dosa, there is udacha, there's restlessness, disturbance at those moments. And at those moments, no calm, no passaddhi, no equanimity, tatramajatata. So we can see that those qualities of calm and equanimity don't arise when there is restlessness, disturbance, agitation with lobha and dosa, and even moha, even though it's not apparent at those moments. So it's daily life and it's now. So it's not a matter of trying to have calm, trying to have equanimity, because that is lobha with more and more udacha, more and more disturbance, more and more restlessness. But when understanding develops at moments of understanding, no wishing, no disturbance, the citta is calm at those moments. So we can see it's the truth that the Buddha talked about, not anyone trying to do anything or follow any practice at all. So gradually, by understanding dhammas as they are, it becomes apparent that this is correct, however much one would like to find calm. And usually everyone says they would like to find calm, but no calm when there's wishing and trying and following a practice and hoping to be a member of the Sangha or hoping to be enlightened, because calm just develops with moments of kusala naturally, like when one of the friends asked about samatha and vipassana, and Ajahn said, is there samatha now? Is there calm at this very moment? Because as soon as there is wishing to develop samatha, no calm at all. So it has to be the understanding now, the truth now, the supatipanno now, careful considering, understanding what is true at this very moment. And what about samadhi? Samadhi here is referring to kusala samadhi, right concentration, which develops with understanding, the opposite of the concentration we know about in daily life, when concentrating on trying to work out the Pali term, or concentrating on cooking, or concentrating on following the map. This is not sama-samadhi. Only at moments of when there is right understanding, there is right sama-samadhi with calm, with equanimity, tatramajatata. So again, it all comes back to the understanding at this very moment.
Vậy thì hai cái từ đối trị thì nên hiểu thế nào ạ?
So how should we understand the word counter, the Dhamma that counter the opposite Dhamma?
It's like the opposite. So now, at a moment of lobha, for example, clinging to what is heard, even now, even in a Dhamma discussion, there is restlessness, and the opposite is calm at moments when there is no lobha, no dosa, no moha, at moments of wise considering, of understanding, no disturbance at all. So it is the counter, the opposite.
And
not
to me,
anything to be done.
I think the term counter here indicates replace. It can replace the opposite, but not eradicate. So it's only a temporary substitution or suppression of the opposite of the akusala.
I think come back to, we can consider the 4 right efforts. And certainly one of them is to, counter, if you like, or to, akusala that has arisen is replaced. The akusala has risen is replaced by kusala. So it's done with wisdom, obviously, not by somebody says, "Oh, change over," but with understanding. There can be the appreciation that is a kusala, and there's the effort to replace it or counter it with kusala. And of course, that's not done by, it can easily be misconstrued or misunderstood, but to counter means to have kusala, if you like, in this sense. And just briefly on that word, you talked about tatra machatata. It is a bit of a mouthful. But whenever you see the Pali word ta on the end of something like dhammata or lahuta, it just means having that quality of, and tatra and majja, as you know, as you got the Majjhima Nikaya is in the middle. Those tatra means therein, or so therein in the middle. It has the quality of being in the middle. And of course, it's referring to kusala, not being swayed either way. Ideally, it's being in the middle. It relates, in English, it's translated as equanimity. So, which the Pali, of course, as you see, it's got that rather long-winded Pali word, but it's just tatramatata, which just means, therein being in the middle with kusala. It's one of the kusala cetasikas. So, it relates to that aspect of kusala, which is countering the unwholesome samadhi, for example, that can arise most of the time, or it does arise most of the time. So it's one of the, the sabachita sadharana, one of the cetasikas that arise all the time. So we can appreciate it's probably mostly a kusala. And as Intl.Dhamma is reminding us so often, and the others there, Sarah and John, that it's so easy to forget the present Dhamma and be swallowed up by the stories. The questions are always important, I feel, and I think they should never be discouraged, but to bear in mind that the Dhamma relates to this present moment, because ultimately there's no other moment, and we are often swallowed up by different levels of akusala and mostly attachment. So there is a reminder always to come back to the present moment, however that may manifest for different people, because it will be different according to conditions for different people. And of course we know that there is no such thing as people either. So, but we have to use conventional language to convey the Dhamma. There's no other way. We have to hear the Dhamma, and we have to consider it carefully. And if it's not considered carefully, it's so easy to misunderstand it. Thank you.
Just going back for a moment to the earlier subject of the recollection of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. In the Visuddhimagga, there's a reference to a sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, where Mahanama, the Sakyan, approaches the Buddha and asks the Buddha, how does a noble disciple who has arrived at the fruit and understood the teaching, how does he often dwell? And it's significant that he's talking about an enlightened being. How does an enlightened being often spend his or her time? And the answer given by the Buddha is that the noble disciple recollects the Buddha thus, and recollects the Dhamma thus and recollects the Sangha thus. And at the end of each section, it says, as one who has entered the stream of Dhamma, he develops recollection of the Buddha. As one who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, he develops recollection of the Dhamma. As one who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, he develops recollection of the Sangha. I just wanted to quote that to emphasize the point that this kind of recollection, properly done, it depends on a high level of understanding. It's not something that the Buddha suggests every follower should bring to mind. He has other things that he recommends for his followers in terms of development of kusala, but these are not among those. These recollections depend on understanding.
Very to the point. Thank you, John. Chan, do you have any comment on the question of the sister on the Dhamma, the countering Dhamma?
What Dhamma is that? What
She was
kind of
asking
Dhamma?
about the samadhi, passaddhi, and not upekha, but tatramachatata.
Tatramajatata.
Thank you, John.
Ratatata.
What is that Dhamma?
Is one of the Chittasikas, one of the 19 universal Subhana Chittasikas, Ajahn.
Is it there now?
Only when there's understanding or kusala.
Does it show up?
No.
So what is there only can be known? Is that right?
Yes, only what is there can be known.
The wishing to understand a particular reality hinders the truth instantly, because it's not that which is appearing right now, but that which is appearing is not known yet. So how can there be the understanding of that which is not there now? No matter when it's not there now, can it be known? But we can begin to study, to begin to understand the differences between different realities. That's right, just talk about one Dhamma at a time, whether it is what Cetasika. Is that right? Otherwise, we just keep on talking about that which does not appear, and no understanding of that which has arisen right now. When there will be the understanding of that which is now appearing, Buddha taught about what are all there in a moment, including such and such, but what appears can be known only. Only that which appears can be known. So now, is there seeing? Because we do not have to follow the word instantly, but talking about the general understanding of reality can bring to that subject or that reality little by little or later, but all about that which is there, different ones, no matter what we call it. See? So they're seeing now. What is there as a seeing? Usually, while we are talking right now, there is seeing. What about that which is as a seeing while we are talking? We have learned about it, but what is that?
The different asavas, which is what the sutta is referring
Là
to.
suy
That
nghĩ ạ.
And what citta is there?
That after seeing, there's thinking, Ajahn.
Now we are talking, hearing, and so forth, but there is also seeing. So we just talk about the moment of seeing and as a seeing while we are talking. See? So very rapidly, quickly
seeing
changes.
instantly to what is
Thế thì
seen.
là những tâm quả tiếp theo ạ. 2 tâm quả tiếp theo ạ.
So after seeing, there are two vipakachitas. I think she referred to sampatichana and santirana chitas.
And then it's there, see, unknown.
Thì
Because we're talking about the sutta she brought up is about the asavas. So even after seeing, the clinging, the asavas arise instantly, even in the idle process before there's any thinking.
And if we don't talk about that, we talk about citta. What kind of citta is there? While we are talking, there's also seeing. What are they?
tôi thấy là những cái tâm quả rồi tâm xác định và đồng tốc, tức là lại đã là tạo nghiệp thiện hoặc bất thiện, thích hoặc không thích ở sau cái thấy rồi ạ.
She said that after seeing, there are two vipakachitas and one kriya chitas, and then there are the chitas that like or dislike, kusala or kusala, and they can commit karma or create karma.
Everyone knows when it's there, thinking about it. But before thinking about it, while we are now thinking about it, is there seeing?
Có.
Yes.
What is
She
that?
said.
What is there, see? There must be citta and cetasika as well. See, there is seeing while we are talking, thinking, liking. But what is there when they're seeing and after seeing? What kind of citta and what kind of cetasikas?
Chỉ có tâm quả ở thời điểm đó và các cái tâm sở tiến hành thì nó không thiện không bất thiện ạ.
The chetasika that arise with the chitas, vipaka chitas are not the universal chitasikas, and they are not kusala or akusala.
After the word tabana, what is there? Now they're seeing. After the word tabana of that process, what is there?
Xong thì có 7 tâm kinh nghiệm cái đối tượng ấy theo những cái thích hoặc không thích ạ.
There are 7 Chavana Chittas that experience that object with liking or disliking.
What are they? How subtle it is, learning about it before a moment of realize the nature of it, directly experience it as it is, different ones. It's the same as we talk about all Sopanat Cetasikas, each different one. But even right now, seeing and talking, walking, so on, they see. When you cook, they see. When you drive, they see. What is there? After seeing, not the other doorway yet. See, just right now. And when there are the other doorways, different, we teach it that. What is there? Just talk about seeing. Because seeing is there too. No one knows, right? But we talk about it. What is there? Kusala citta or akusala citta? Writing something, they seeing. What cittas are there after seeing? After what happened? See, not falling asleep, not dreaming, but what is there? There must be citta in between thinking, writing, walking, cooking, they seeing all the time. What citta? After seeing, before other doorway. This is the way to understand the truth. Supatipanno. Not have any more mistake or wrong understanding or the idea of I. What is there? There must be citta for sure. Is that right? What is there? When it's not known, is it akusala citta? Is it no need to talk about it? Or it can be object of considering to see or to understand how subtle it is. Dhamma is so subtle. Before all kinds of Dhamma have to be eradicated, no more birth after death. Just consider it little by little. Is there any citta after seeing before the bhavanga and next process? So the first question, is
Đó,
there
sẽ
any
phải áp dụng
citta?
các lộ trình tâm thì phải có tâm hộ kiếp ạ. Nhưng hiện tại thì không được biết ạ.
Yes, there are different. There are many Bhavanga Chittas between the different
But
processes,
before
but they are not
Bhavanga,
known.
after seeing and before Bhavanga, what kind of chitta is there? It's not
After
just
the
seeing and then Bhavanga.
Vipaka Chittas and the Kiriya Chitta, what are the
Trước tâm
Chittas
hộ kiếp
before the Bhavanga Chittas?
thì là tâm trước tâm hộ kiếp thì là tâm các cái lộ của tâm trước ạ, ở trong các cái căn môn khác đó. Giữa xác định và hộ kiếp, xác định xong là đồng lực chứ xác định xong có hộ kiếp đâu ạ. Giữa xác định kiếp, xác định xong là đồng lực chứ đâu có hộ kiếp đâu cô Tâm. Vâng ạ.
Sam, we're not hearing the translation.
She said that there are the Javana Chittas.
Javana is the function.
What kind of Chittas usually, like now, what kind of Chittas arise? Kusala or akusala Chittas before the Bhavanga Chittas? Because they all have the function of Javana. So usually, even now, during a Dhamma discussion, after seeing and the other Vipaka Chittas, usually akusala Chittas arising with lobha and ignorance are following instantly before the Bhavanga Chittas. Is that correct?
In the same process, now there is attachment to what is seen as something, what is heard, what is smelled, but what is there as is seen before Bhavanga? Usually right now, just right now. Is there any attachment? Is there dosa? Not at all. Not any moment of noticing what is there at all. It's there as so very natural while we are cooking, smelling, talking, so on, doing something. So it's the time to understand the akusala without lobha and dosa. So it has to be moha mulacitta. Is there any doubt about it? Appearing while one is cooking, is there any doubt about the sea and the chitta after sea and so on? Not at all. So it's time to understand the akusala chitta without lobha and dosa, but with uttacha, when there's no doubt. Right now, no understanding, no attachment, no chanda, no interest. See? But when there is doubt about reality, about this and that, there is doubt with moha, not understanding. So there is doubt. The two different kinds of moha mulacitta, one without vicikicca and the other with vicikicca. So now, no attachment, no aversion, the moment of that which is not noticed at all. What is there? So how many moha mulacittas in a day? How many moments lopa mulacita? How many moments of dosa mulacita akusla? when it's not attachment, when it's not aversion, and no understanding, no kusala at all, no doubt about that moment. So it's the reality which is akusala, moha, only to that object with uttacha. And we can talk about other moments, different jetasikas, different levels of kusala and akusala, that they are all very subtle. When there's ropa, it can be known. But when it's so very, very subtle as asva, no one knows. But when it's not lopa, it is moha. It can be any kind. Avijjasava is there.
And just a very brief comment, it may have been the Sabasava Sutta that the sister was referring to. And in Sutta, it talks about different kinds of abandoning pahana, for example, temporary suppression and so on. But it stresses that the only way that the asavas can be completely eradicated are through the development of the path, through the development of right understanding of dhammas, because other kinds of bahana are temporary, like the development of samatha, the attainment of jhanas, and so on. These are all temporary, so only the direct understanding, which we've been talking about, or all through the session today, the understanding of what appears now, only this can lead to the complete eradication of the asavas very, very gradually. So sometimes when we read about the counter mental factors, it's talking about the development of samatha, the temporary suppression, but to be completely eradicated, only right understanding of dhammas as anatta naturally in daily life can there be the full eradication of the asavas.
May I say again, is that true? See, firm and firm confidence of the truth which is hidden under the word of the Buddha brings about careful considering of each reality, no matter what. As Kunsara just said, little by little, the moment of moha, can it be known without, when it's not vichikicha? And moment of lopa with, see, uttacha, or with uttacha, when it's akusala. Is it true? Again, how subtle it is all day, all adhamas, little by little, understanding about each dhamma. It's time again. Swadika.